they are looking for positive attention. They're looking for attention, period. That's their currency. They'll take negative attention if they can't get positive attention. But they really want positive attention. Well, to play fair. That's the most important thing that you can teach children. Because the fundamental ethic, like the ground of ethics, is fair play. And children practice that while they're playing. And so a lot of what should be happening in schools is play by children, a fair bit of it spontaneous, especially when they're very young, but regulated by adults so that it remains fair, right? That it remains reciprocal. And you can tell that because children will continue to play a game if they believe the game is fair. When the game stops being fair, then it breaks down into squabbling and crying, which is what our games are breaking down into right now, right? And so then you need a mediator who comes in and adjudicates, says, well, how about if you try it this way? Maybe we need to adjust the rule. Let's see if we can get the game going again. It's very important for kids to learn how to play fair. And I'm afraid that a fair bit of our electronic technology is taking them away from the kinds of social interactions that they need to learn one-on-one to know how to play fair. I might be wrong about that because I don't know what effect video games have. And the evidence that they're bad isn't strong, and they're new, so we really don't know. So that might be good enough. But that, and well, it'd be good to teach kids to read. We seem to be continually confused about whether or not that's a good idea. But we actually do know how to teach kids to read. You can use phonics programs, and I believe computers can speed that along substantially. It'd be good to teach them to read. It's good to teach them to write. It's good to encourage them, That's another thing. If you're dealing with people in your own life, or yourself for that matter, and you notice that the person that you're with or are has done something that you would like to see repeated perhaps many times, you might want to point it out. Say, look, I just saw you do this thing, and I'm really happy about that. You did a great job. I'm really happy about that. A little more of that would be wonderful, and just leave it be. And people are very thrilled about that because and this is especially true of kids, they are looking for positive attention. They're looking for attention, period. That's their currency. They'll take negative attention if they can't get positive attention. But they really want positive attention. And what they really want is for someone to watch them and notice when they do something that makes them a good person, and then have that pointed out. It's like, good work, kid. Way to be. I saw what you did. Here's what it was. Good job. I'm sure you could do a bunch more of that. And then they're just thrilled that their action, their small child action, was important enough to draw your focused attention toward. That makes them glow. And the probability that will help them continue to act in those ways is extremely, extremely powerful. So, if you're trying to get along with some kid, adolescent maybe, because they're kind of hard to get along with often, watch them. And if they do something it doesn't even have to be good. It just has to be better than what they're usually doing. That, which is not a bad approximation of good. It's like, look, I noticed that you were more pleasant tonight at the dinner table. Or maybe that's not quite the way of phrasing it. Because it's sort of an insult to the way they are before. You might say, well, because you have to be careful, right, when you say these things, and not put a barb in it because you're kind of irritated. You might say, it was enjoyable having dinner with you tonight, and they'll kind of clue into why that might be, and they'll think, oh well, hey, it turns out to matter if I do something that's positive, and so that's a piece of information about keeping your eyes open. So what do we do with kids? Let them play. Make them play fair. That's really important. Teach them to read. That'd be good. Teach them to write. That'd be good. Teach them to stand up and speak for themselves. That would be good. You can teach a child to stand up pretty convincingly and say something intelligent in about 15 minutes if you do it carefully. And it almost never happens in school. It's really quite appalling. So that's another thing you can do for your kids, is get them to stand up and say something, and not like this, talking to the floor and barely able to hear, so that people have to strain and strive to hear them, but to stand up and to say something. And you can tell them, well, stand up a little more, put your shoulders back a little more volume so I can hear you. It can be a little game. God, they learn that so fast you can hardly believe it. And I don't know why they're not taught that. I think because people are afraid of competence. And so they're afraid to teach kids to be competent. And so we don't. And they kind of have to learn it on their own. And that's unfortunate, let's say.